Hi, my name is Wendy Swore. I am the author of A Monster Like Me and The Wish and the Peacock. And today I'm going to read to you from A Monster Like Me. Now, because I am a farmer in my full-time job, the quietest place I have to read to you is from inside my tractor. So I brought a friend. I've got my dragon here to keep us company. But we're going to be reading from inside the tractor today. Before I read this, there's kind of a little mystery for you. There's something that I'm going to read to you that happened in chapter 1 that really did happen to me. So this is really loosely based on things that happened to me when I was little. Let's see if you can figure out what it was that happened to me when I was little. You ready to listen? Let's go with chapter 1. Here's an excerpt from The Big Book of Monsters. The Big Book of Monsters, an introduction. Beware all who enter here, for things once seen cannot be unseen. There are monsters among us. They are crafty and sly, patient and wise. But wait, you say, if such things exist, why do we not see them? Prove to us such things are real. It's your human sight, dear friends, that hinders you. You may have seen centaurs and minotaurs, but thought them only horses and cattle. Magic can cloud the minds and memories of men. Few have seen a dragon and lived, and fewer still have wept at the sight of a unicorn and remembered. The pages to come are filled with secrets no human was ever meant to know. A list, albeit incomplete, of magical creatures great and small. You must understand, dear reader, the only beings who know what is hidden are those who are in hiding themselves. Chapter 1, Book of Monsters. You'd think monsters would have their own grocery store, but they don't. They walk around with a cart, same as regular people, and keep the monster part hidden inside, where no one can see it. Mom's grocery cart squeaks with every step, like an elf getting squished. But Mom's not a monster, not that I can tell anyway. She grabs a box of granola cereal and sets it on the cart beside all of our other stuff. Pick something, Sophie. Then all we need is milk. Bright boxes of all colors crowd the shelves. A silly dragon peers out from behind a bowl on one box. But I bet real dragons don't look that stupid. After they shed their human skin, I mean. I skim past the marshmallow cereals and snag a box of Honey O's before cracking open my book and waiting for Mom's cart to move on. The raised lettering on the cover fits nicely in my hand, and I know what it says without looking. The Big Book of Monsters. The page corners curl a little from the 1,000 times I've turned them, but mostly I'm careful. Shuffling behind Mom as we near the dairy aisle, I peek over the edge of my book, trying to read and watch the shoppers at the same time. A woman shushes a screaming child, giving her a doll and shoving a pacifier into her fat little mouth. As we pass, the red-eyed girl turns her tear-streaked face to me, and I squirm under her stare. She raises both hands and shoves the doll behind her head while sucking on the pacifier so hard I expect the whole thing to pop into her mouth and disappear. With a shudder, I speed up so Mom's between me and the little creature. I'm sure I've seen something like that before. Pages whisper as I flip through the book until I see the Futakashiona. In the picture, a woman feeds 2 mouths. One on her face and the other in the back of her head, hidden in her hair. If not fed properly, the mouths screech obscenely and demand food. I peek around Mom as the kid drops her pacifier and cries harder, her little eyes scrunched into tiny angry slits like she knows that I figured out her secret. If I were braver, I'd go right up there and look in her hair for that other mouth. But I'm not. My arms ache from carrying the book all the time, and my steps lag behind Mom's. Someone should install these moving sidewalks they have at airports and grocery stores. It'd be like riding a scaly basilisk all through the aisles. And we could grab stuff we wanted as the shelves whizzed by. And if we missed it the first time around, we could just go for another ride. I bet my idea would get $1 million. And all the little old ladies would love it. Unless they fell off. Then maybe not so much. Do you want string cheese for your lunch tomorrow? Maybe a special treat for your first day? Mom hovers by the cheese and I nod. Yeah, and fruit snacks. We moved from Beaverton to Portland, Oregon last month, and we're renting, not buying. I'm pretty sure Mom didn't have a choice about coming here, but she pretends it's all a great adventure. New house, new school, new doctors. None of that is a good thing. But Mom did get a teaching job here, so at least that's one bright spot in the middle of all this. You got it. She grabs a package of white cheese sticks and moves on. Her black tennis shoes barely make a sound. Not that we could hear anything over the wheels anyway. But it's nice to be near her. She's graceful and pretty. I think her eyes might be bad, though, because she still smiles when she looks at me. My last school was not so nice. That's where I first saw my book in the library. And lucky I did, or it would have been a lot harder to find out about monsters. The whole school was full of them, mean ones who learned my secret until I couldn't stay there anymore. Mom says this new school is a clean start, a clean slate. I don't think I've ever seen a slate clean or dirty, but if it's better than the old place, I'm willing to try. I pick up some fruit snacks and line up with Mom at the checkout. A bunch of kids in front of us load the conveyor belt with junk food as their mom reads the magazine behind the cart. The littlest boy, a boy with black hair and a gold chain necklace, he scopes out the candy bars. I wonder if he might be a troll since his nose flares and he likes shiny things. But he scowls when he sees me looking. I should have hidden my face then, but I didn't. Sometimes I forget. Most of the time, grown-ups look away when they notice me. It's more polite to be invisible than different. Most of the time, I believe them. He tugs on his mom's pink sweatpants until she puts the gossip magazine down and turns her bleach blonde head. What? The cashier scans the last bottle of pop and presses a button. That'll be $37 even. The blonde lady follows the kid's pointing finger and stares at me, her eyebrows arching up into her poofy hair, which is okay, but then she opens her mouth, which isn't. Hey, look, kids, that kid doesn't need a costume for Halloween. She's already got one. Foreheads peek around their mother like a 5-headed hydra to stare and then laugh. They point their fingers and they giggle like it's the funniest joke in the world, but it's not funny. And I'm not laughing. Mom's mouth drops open as the Hydra family walks away, and I bury my face in my book. The echoing laughter hurts my ears. It grates and it stings. And I press my face against the pages so I'll never have to see anyone ever again. My eyes burn, but I blink fast and hold the tears inside. I don't want Mom to see me cry. And besides, I don't want to wreck my book. Sorry about that, the clerk says over the sound of our groceries beeping across the scanner. I peek over the book to see if he's making fun, but he really does look sorry. Mom's face is red and her lips mash into a tight, thin line. The rest of the shoppers around us are quiet too, and I duck back into my book, hoping that Mom doesn't understand what the Hydra lady was talking about. She knows part of the truth about me, but not all of it. And she never will if I can help it. The checkout machine prints the receipt and I hear the cashier rip it off. Mom's gentle touch pries my hand from the book and presses it against the cart's handle. I wait till we're out of the store to close my book. But even then, I keep my head down, my hair falling over my face like a curtain. You can open the fruit snacks now if you want, says Mom. I pretend I don't hear and run the last few steps to the car. Lights flash as she pops the trunk with her key button. We have one more place to go today after we drop off the groceries. Then we can do something fun. Maybe plan for your birthday next week? She winks and flashes 10 fingers plus 1. Place? Like an appointment? My stomach churns like I ate a whole pile of worms, and I slip into the back seat, my hands gripping the edges of my book until my knuckles turn white. When she starts the engine, I close my eyes as the car vibrates and rumbles around me. Don't worry, honey. It's just a quick physical for the school this time. Mom uses big words like hemangioma and blood tumor when she talks about my face to the doctors, who poke and prod. And I die inside, wishing to be anywhere but there. I keep quiet and let them think what they want. Sophie, are you okay? Mom checks my reflection in the rearview mirror. I know what she sees. A spider web of blood-filled lumps bubbling out from inside the skin between my right ear and my eye. The mark is puffy and swollen and scary to look at because it keeps reaching for more of me. The red-purple bump spreading out from the main body to stretch from my cheekbone all the way up to my temple. I know she worries about it. The loads of doctor's visits prove it. But she doesn't know how frightening it really is, because she believes them when they say it all fits in a medical book. She doesn't feel the hidden part pulsing inside, always one heartbeat away from pushing through my skin. I'm fine, I mumble. As long as Mom never finds out the truth, it'll be okay. She'll still love me, and I can stay home. Until then, I have to do what every other kid, who's really not a kid, does, and hide my true nature from her. Only I know I really am a monster. Chapter 1 of A Monster Like Me. So, did you figure out what part really happened? So when I was little, I had a hemangioma on my forehead here. It was about this big. I still have this scar from here to about here. And it really did happen that I was in the grocery store with my mom, and a lady with kids pointed at me and said, "Hey, look, kids, that kid doesn't need a costume for Halloween. She's already got one." And then she laughed and walked off, and my mom really did not know what to say. So that was one of a lot of things that happened when I was a kid, because sometimes people are not kind to other people who look differently. But I bet you would be kind. I bet you would be the person to be the friend for someone who needed it. So, compassion makes you human. I hope you enjoyed chapter 1. Thank you for watching.